Okay, so 20 years ago today, 5,000 Borough fans made the trip to the Riverside Stadium to face Middlesbrough in an FA Cup third round replay. To mark the occasion, we're here as goalkeeper on that day and current Nuneaton Town joint manager, Darren Acton. Welcome, Darren. Thanks for joining us. Let's go back to that FA Cup run. We've beaten AFC Telford United, Chelmsford City and Tiverton Town to reach round one, where we'd avoided Football League sides in the draw. Ramsgate was seen off at home, and then we drew with Histon at Manor Park to get into that third round draw. What were the team's thoughts when you realised the winner of that replay would face Premier League team Middlesbrough at home?
No, it was a fantastic occasion. You know, we went through a lot of games to get there. So you know, to get Middlesbrough was like an unbelievable occasion. Like I can remember the lads, we all met up and you know watching the draw and things like that. And like when Middlesbrough come out, we was quite happy with it.
Yeah, and that next was that replay at Histon with that on the table, and we saw that last gasp winner. It's still controversial as to who actually scored it at the end of the day. But how did you feel knowing what the team had achieved and knowing what it meant to the town to win that replay?
I know we went to Histon and it was a tough game, and I can remember it now, walking out and like seeing I think there was over 800 Nuneaton fans there, you know, and the actual game was like end to end. Like you know, I think if I remember right, they had a long throw and they just kept launching it in the box and we just kept heading it. You know, Terry and Neil Moore just kept heading it away. Like obviously the occasion I'd come out for a cross and you know clear it, but it was a tough game, and like you know to get that winning goal, whoever scored it, you know, and get to Middlesbrough, it was like unbelievable night.
Yeah, so the clock is now 20 years and 10 days ago, and it's Middlesbrough at home in front of a sellout Manor Park. How did it feel coming up against some well-known international players in goal?
Yeah, it was a great occasion. Like you know, credit to them as well. They put their first team out, and like I just remember watching them, like looking at the pitch and things like that. You know, that you could tell they like didn't fancy it. You know, and it was just a great occasion to walk out in front of like that many, and you know, who become the England manager as well. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, make so many good comments for us.
And obviously we all know that Jez got the last minute equaliser to take it to a replay. How did you feel in that moment knowing what you had achieved there?
Do you know what? It takes a lot of to take a penalty in the 90th minute in front of that many supporters, and like credit to Jez. Jez, you know, had the confidence to do it, and like believe me, he had a field day after.
So you get the replay at Middlesbrough. You're in the fourth round draw. You know, you draw out Coventry City away. You know, how did you feel at that draw at that point?
I can actually remember being at Nuneaton, and we was all sat in the bar, and obviously with Jez and Terry being from that area, they were all, you know, kept saying, "Oh, I hope we get Cov, I hope we get Cov," and next thing you know, we're all sitting there, and Coventry City got drawn out of the hat, and it was way, you know, and it was brilliant for them, so. You know, and it was a tough tour. You know, we knew it was going to be tough going up to Middlesbrough, and you know, if it happened, it happened. It would have been nice, but unfortunate, it didn't.
And we were one clock forward to 20 years ago today, and we do make the long trip to Middlesbrough for the replay. How did it feel playing in front of over 26,000 with 5,000 of them singing Borough fans who made that long journey on Tuesday night? Yeah,
I can remember it well. You know, we went up there on the coach and. We were actually staying over there on that night, and we was all going up there. We'd done everything right, had pre-match. We went and looked around the stadium, and even looking around the stadium and seeing, you know, what it could be, and it was exciting times. Then to walk out in front of that many supporters, it was a joke. So you know, and to see so many Nuneaton supporters there, it was it was touching.
And unfortunately Middlesbrough did prove too strong for us in the end and won 5-2 with Jez Murphy giving us some consolation in the second half. But how fondly do you look upon that cup run, and how do you look forward to trying to give us more days like that now as a manager?
Yeah, you know, FA Cup, everyone wants to, you know, do well in it, and that day, and you know, I think the biggest thing was we actually went there and we got 2 goals, and if you remember right, Matt, I actually got an assist for one of them. So, you know, went over the keeper's head, and that Jez went and scored. So now it was just great, and I was just so happy that we scored and give them fans something to cheer about and things like that. You know, and this is what me and Russ have said, you know, it'd be nice, you know, to see that again. Do you know what I mean? Which I have no doubt it will happen. Do you know what I mean? So it was just good, fantastic, and I just hope it does happen for the Nuneaton supporters.
Yeah, some fond memories, and hopefully some fond memories in the future to make as well as managers. But thanks for joining us, Darren.
No problem. Thanks, Matt.